Ravi, Jess, Julie, thank you. I love that. Usually I don't think about the crowd, but today I did. How could you not? What a crowd up there as we welcome you back down indeed to Volunteer Stadium. What are we going to see next here at the Little League World Series?
This one is drilled into center. The bat is flipped and it is gone.
Welcome to ESPN's coverage of the Little League World Series presented by T-Mobile. Gorgeous Saturday, massive crowd. We have started to trim the field as well on the first elimination day here at the Little League World Series. Regina, Canada ran into an 81-mile-an-hour Little League buzzsaw in Game 1 and now faces Brno, Czech Republic, who represents the entirety of the Europe-Africa region. Winner plays tomorrow. The loser, their summer, comes to a close. All right, so you saw the U.S. now on the international side. The headlines start with Chinese Taipei's Fan Chunjun, who, yes, he was that buzzsaw at 81 a couple of days ago. Japan's 2-0, the team from Tokyo. They've got one of the 3 no-hitters that we've seen here on the international side. Curacao, runners-up at the World Series last year. Jadlin Wheel and 4 others are back for the team from Williamsport that has a win already. And that Cuba made history just by being here for the first time as a country. But earlier today, the first win for those 4 letters in 76 years of this event. Double elimination. This is the entire field, which has started to get whittled down. 2 teams sitting pretty at 2-0 in Tokyo, Japan, and Needville, Texas. With that, we say hello and thanks for joining us. Xavier Scruggs, Mike Monaco with you, and Sebastian Salazar joins us in a moment. So you saw the international headlines. Who do you like?
Man, all these teams that are undefeated look really good. It's hard not to overlook Chinese Taipei, but also Cuba for me. The inspiration, the impact that they actually have here has really been special. Watching so many fans just take pictures with them.
Speaking of inspiration and good stories, this Czech Republic team has a Ukrainian refugee on their roster in Ilia Kets. And for more on his journey, here's Sebastian Salazar.
Thanks, Mike. Yeah, I'm down here with the parents from Czech Republic, who of course will be rooting on their own sons, but they tell me they have a very special place in their collective heart for the boy you just mentioned, number 13, Ilia Kets. What a story this young man has. Born in Ukraine, but when the armed conflicts with Russia started earlier last year, he and his family had to flee. They spent 4 months in a refugee camp and did so without dad. Dad had to stay home as he was deemed part of critical industry. The family eventually settled in the Czech Republic. Ilia said baseball was a huge part of him making new friends at a very difficult time. Now he and those new friends are in Williamsport having a blast. I said, what's your favorite part so far of the experience? He said, meeting a big leaguer. He was talking about our very own Xavier Scruggs. X, what a moment.
It was a special moment for me. Ilia was the first kid that I actually met here doing some building blocks the day before all this started. You can just tell that there's a happiness, a great emotion to what he brings to his team, and he's happy to be out there playing some baseball.
Yeah, new friends qualifies. You're one of them for Ilia, and we've hit this first weekend here at the Little League World Series, and it's a massive day tomorrow. Speaking of meeting big leaguers and new friends, it's the Little League Classic, and the Phillies and the Nationals will be here. It's a really cool scene.
The coolest part is that the big leaguers start to feel like little leaguers, and they remember what it was like to play back when they were 11, 12 years old. I think that's what's most special about it.
Yeah, let's find out. The kids from Canada, what are they looking forward to most about it?
Just going to an MLB game. I've only been to once in my life, and I just feel like it's cool to watch all those great players and dream to play on one of those diamonds just like today.
Who do you think's going to win?
Phillies.
Get to see the stadium, meet new players, and you don't really get this experience too often. I'm just really excited to live the experience.
Who do you think's going to win?
Phillies.
You're rooting for the Phillies?
Yeah.
Well, I've watched their games like a million times on TV, but this would be the first watching these teams and players in real life, so it's a good experience. Don't get the opportunity much, so it'll be good.
Who you rooting for?
Phillies all the way.
I'm most excited about going to see the stadium live. I've never been to an MLB game at a stadium, and I'm very excited. And I think the Phillies are going to win tomorrow.
Here's what that's called: bulletin board material for the Nats. How about that? Williamsport will welcome the big leaguers tomorrow. This is the scene on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. 2 more games right here on ESPN. The Little League Baseball World Series on ESPN is presented by T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G network. Yeah, a lot of cards you will find of legends around here in South Williamsport, PA. Here on day 4, Canada and the Czech Republic, and this team from Regina, Saskatchewan, North Regina Little League. Of course, they've got the Saskatchewan Roughriders of the CFL playing there, and the Regina Pats, who this year had the services of first overall NHL pick, Connor Bedard. Let's meet the team.
My name is Pierce Terrell, and my favorite food is pizza.
My name is Dylan Leach. My favorite athlete is Sidney Crosby.
My name is Braden McQueen. My dream job is becoming an MLB player.
My name is Trayton Menzik, and my favorite food is lobster and salad.
My name is Nixon Jelsing. My favorite artist is Morgan Wallen.
My name is Brian Nurnberg, and my favorite school subject is math.
My name is Jackson Bilbo. My favorite player is Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
My name is Cannon Jr., and my favorite band is AC/DC.
My name is Jackson Weir, and my favorite player is Julio Rodriguez.
My name is Nash Tomchuk, and my favorite food is sushi.
My name is Tate Sexsmith, and my favorite athlete is Connor Bedard. My name is Creason Melville, and my favorite artist is Travis Scott.
They played Thursday in their first game, and they ran into, as we said, Chinese Taipei, who threw a combined perfect game. Now they face the Czech Republic, and let's meet Krzysztof Schalar, brought to you by Dollar Car Rental. You would say it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to pitch and start a game at the Little League World Series. Schalar is going to do it for the second time.
Yeah, he gets the big start today, and the big thing for him is just going to be making sure he's locating right, throwing strikes, get his team off to a good start. That's the one thing you want to be able to take away some of the big positives early on in this game to help your momentum moving forward.
Huge crowd has filed down to Volunteer Stadium, just a stone's throw from up the hill at Lamade Stadium, where there was a big old crowd, like we said, watching Media, Pennsylvania stay alive. A couple of runs there in the 6th to break the tie with the team from New England. Gray Mane, hats off to them and to the Australian team. Saw their summers come to a close today. Another elimination game starts with strike 1 from Schalar to Nash Tomchuk, a newly minted 12-year-old a few weeks ago. Coaching staff says that Nash is a team leader. He's the catcher, and he takes it upon himself to keep his team even-keeled. Hockey player as well. He's got the charisma and the attitude, the coaches say, to be that leader. Schalar's 0-2. Up and in. Canada saw 81-mile-an-hour fastballs and 71-mile-an-hour sliders from Fan Chun Jun. Coaching staff said the best 12U baseball pitcher they had ever seen in their lives. Never seen anyone throw that hard.
Well, if I'm Canada, I'm also like, okay, I've seen the best there is to see. Now it's about working back down from that. And hopefully that's something that they can take some confidence from moving into their next game here today.
Cole Warkin, the manager, was proud of how the team played, especially the last 3 innings when they held Chinese Taipei scoreless over the last half of that game. Two balls and 2 strikes on Nash Tomchuk. 6th pitch, strikes him out. Schalar's got a K. So how it all works, if you're unfamiliar with the Little League World Series or just need a reminder on the particulars, It's mostly 12-year-olds. We do have a handful of 11-year-olds and a couple of 10-year-olds. 225-foot fences. There's a pitch limit in there. It's no longer innings. It's been that way for a while. And there's something this year called the continuous batting order. So you bat one through however many players are on the roster. That's a bullet from Jackson Weir just off the glove of David Sabatka. And a single smoked by Weir, and Canada's got its first base runner.
Yeah, really good effort there by Sabatka, but Weir doing a nice job of being aggressive, gets this pitch over the middle. Line drive. It's a great way to start the game there for Canada.
David Sabatka's made some fine plays for the Czech Republic this summer. Nearly had another. Brings up the third baseman for Canada, and it's three-hole hitter Braden McQueen. He was born in Australia and lived there for the first 2.5 years of his life before moving to Canada. An HGTV fan, and he says his favorite song is Run This Town. Smoked left field to the wall and off the wall for Braden McQueen. It's a double. Canada's cooking in game number 2.
That's a great swing from McQueen. He's making himself right at home. Speaking of HGTV, with that double in the left center gap. Check out this swing one more time. He's balanced, catches this thing out in front. Rotation perfect, barreled through for a long period of time. I thought he almost got it right off the bat, but still he gets himself in scoring position.
What a great shot that is over the head of Philip Shahoric in left. And now the shortstop and cleanup man, Cannon Jr. Aaron Nestial, the catcher, goes out to visit with Krzysztof Schalar. Cannon says his special talent is having nice hair. Says he'll get complimented on it. People tell him all the time they want to have his hair. He waits on it 0-1. Pop foul back in our direction.
And if you're Junior here at the plate with a couple runners in scoring position, you got the infield back corners look to be even. I'm thinking stay through the middle of the field. Don't got to get too big here. Just look at a ground ball, second base, shortstop. We got ourselves a run.
Krzysztof Schalar's 0-2. His strike 3 called. Couple huge Ks for Krzysztof, and there's 2 down in the first.
Yeah, and Schalar's working that off speed early in this game already. See, it just changes up the speed here. That's a curveball. Backs up a little bit, but a great location to get the strike 3.
So for Canada, it's up to Trayton Manzuk, the speedy center fielder in the 5 spot. Cuts through the first one. Boy, how big would this be for Krzysztof Schalar and a Czech team that used 6 different pitchers in its first game to hold Canada quiet here in the first. Ball and a strike.
Aaron Nesnall, the catcher here, has to really do a good job of being able to box everything up. Got to keep everything in front.
Good presentation there from Aaron for strike 2. Hard moments watching Trayton in the box. And a strikeout for Schalar. Krzysztof Schalar unfazed by the big moment and the big stage. He leaves 2 in the first. This Czech Republic team represents Europe, Africa here at the Little League World Series, and it's South Czech Republic Little League from Brno, about 4,300 miles away, in the second largest city in the Czech Republic, only behind Prague. Let's meet the team.
Mé jméno je Dominik Kliner a můj nejoblíbenější hráč je Bryce Harper. Moje jméno je David Sobotka a můj oblíbený tým je Los Angeles Dodgers.
Jmenuji se Krištof Šilar a můj oblíbený tým je San Diego Padres.
Já jsem Ondřej Šimánek a můj nejoblíbenější MLB hráč je Ilia Kets. Moje jméno je Filip Staňka a můj nejoblíbenější sportovec je LeBron James.
Moje jméno je Štěpán Švec a můj nejoblíbenější baseballista je Mookie Betts.
Jmenuji se Ilia Kets a můj nejoblíbenější tým je Pittsburgh Pirates.
Jmenuji se Marian Košťál a můj nejoblíbenější hráč je Shohei Ohtani. Moje jméno je Václav Menčík a moje oblíbené jídlo je cheeseburger.
Jmenuji se Filip Žhourek a moje oblíbené jídlo je sushi. Moje jméno je Aaron a můj nejoblíbenější herec je Kevin Hart.
Mé jméno je Denis Ondroušek a můj nejoblíbenější hráč je Fernando Tatis Jr.
Jmenuji se Dominik Vřesníček a moje nejoblíbenější jídlo jsou špagety.
The Czech Republic back in action after playing Wednesday against Panama in the very first game of this year's Little League World Series. Well, much like Krištof Šilar, Jackson Weir gets to start a second game at the Little League World Series. Started the opener Thursday against Chinese Taipei. Went an inning and a third and struck out 3.
Yeah, the lefty's going to be featuring that fastball, curveball, changeup. He's got a little bit of Max Fried in him, the way he delivers the baseball. Kind of over the top. Not as much 3/4 as you might see a lot from lefties. He's more over the top, and he's got a good out pitch in that curve piece.
So he's got the athleticism of Fried, fastball, off speed, and he's about as quick working a pitcher as we have seen here.
Yes, he likes to get the ball. He's on the mound and going real quick. Doesn't give you any time to breathe.
Krištof Šilar stays alive. Up that foul right at home plate. Here we go. How about Arnold as Krištof Šilar's favorite actor? Did you see that one coming?
Yes, the muscles.
On the ground right side at Nixon Jelsing for the first out.
And you mentioned a good point about Weir, about how quick he gets the ball and gets going, because I think that's something to look out for today. When he gets going a little bit too quick, I feel like he loses his mechanics a little bit, falls off arm side. He'll get a little bit too much of that arm side run, so keep an eye on that. If he's good with his delivery, he'll be throwing a lot of strikes today.
Philip Žhohorek is the next batter, the left fielder for the Czech Republic. He pitched a little bit Wednesday against Panama. Before coming here to Williamsport, he had never been on a flight before. He's down 0-2 against the Fried clone. Shadow's a problem right now too.
Maybe not as much, just because it's a little bit in front of home plate. Once if it starts to creep out there a little bit more halfway, that can be a real issue. But right now, you still get to track the baseball mostly throughout the sun.
On the ground, past the dive of Cannon Jr. and into center. Philip Žhohorek is on with a 1-out single for the Czech Republic.
And that's huge for them. That's their first hit of the tournament. Obviously, they've been trying to get something going. And to see them get that first knock, that's got to be a huge weight off of the shoulders. And now it's like we can go play our game.
And now Denis Ondrošek squared the bunt. Coming out of the 3-hole, the shortstop. Yeah, how cool is that for this Czech team after in that game against Panama? Yeah, they got no hit, but struck out 18 times. They did work 3 walks at the plate. This one popped foul. And their manager, Arnaud Nesnial, said after the game that they just had to play more, getting used to the high-end velocity they saw. They saw as much as 73 miles an hour. And he also said in Europe, you're not allowed to throw breaking balls, at least where they play. So that was new for them as well. That's what Ondrošek strikes out on for out number 2.
Yeah, you got to think that's got to be pretty impactful when you're not seeing a lot of those breaking pitches and you're not throwing them. It's going to be an adjustment, right? And once you start to see it in the first game, then you can start to say, okay, now we know what that looks like. We've seen some of the best of it. Now we got to take that into game 2.
And now Arnaud's son, Aaron Nesnial, bats with the wood bat still in hand. Certainly the only one who's swinging wood here in Williamsport. And you know what? It was 1976 when basically everyone in Little League had gone to aluminum. Don't tell Aaron that. Weird dots to end the inning. Strikes out 2, and we are off and running. Packed house ready for this one, the Little League World Series. Great year. That includes Stella Weaver. She's got a knock as well. And Cuba, as we told you, has made history.
Yeah, Stella and the fellas, Cuba, Tennessee. I mean, how dominant they've been over the past couple of years. All these storylines so impressive to see, and it's just really getting started, Mike. We're here for the long run.
We sure are. Xavier Scruggs, Sebastian Salazar, Mike Monaco, and our entire crew with you at the Little League Baseball World Series presented by T-Mobile. Bryden Nurnberg drops down a bunt. Christoph Schalar says, not so fast. No, they call him safe over at first. Bryden getting down the line.
And the only reason why he might have had that opportunity to get down the line that quick is because Christoph, when he bounced off the mound, looked towards third at Mensick and wasn't sure if he was going to come charge this baseball, and then he grabbed it at the last second. Get another look. Christoph looks over, and then he's like, oh, I got to get this. Great throw over to first, but that little bit of time might have cost them. But that one is close, Mike.
I think out. What do you think?
It looks like out right there. His foot didn't seem to be on the bag quite when the ball was received in the back of the glove. I think he's out.
Arnos Nesnial, the Czech Republic manager, using one of the 2 challenges he gets in the 6 innings of regulation length. Of course, if we do go extras, each team gets another. And if you're successful in your challenge and it gets overturned, you retain the challenge. He gone?
I think he's out, Mike. And again, a really nice job of Christoph recognizing that, you know, his third baseman wasn't quite playing in enough to come get that ball. And as a pitcher, that's a ball you want to get anyway. And he's athletic enough to bounce off the mound.
Well done by the athletic Christoph Schalar. At 5'1", 91 pounds, makes the play.
And that's, you know, in Little League, you're always teaching all these kids are all athletes, right? But as a pitcher, if you can take whatever you can bouncing off the mound, that's going to be huge for you and your team.
Brings up Tate Sexsmith. Tater, Tater Tot, Big Sexy. He's got a long list of nicknames. He pitched a scoreless inning of work Thursday against Chinese Taipei. Through 15 pitches, faced 5 batters. Says the coolest place he has traveled, at least before this, is the Dominican Republic. Well-traveled 12-year-old. One of the jokesters on this Canadian team. 2-1.
If you see, look, Tate put his name next to the batter's box. I love that. He said, this is my home plate.
And now he skies this one into the sunshine and right at Andre Shamanik. Hanging with it with the sunnies on and exhaling. So did Tate do that on his way up to the box?
Tate did that when he came up to the box, and I was wondering what he had been writing. And that was pretty cool to see that. I was wondering if he was going to do it and then go Tater trot, but flew out to right. Great play out there in the outfield.
You're locked in, man. This one game a day has got you well rested. Your best material. Here's Jackson Bilbo. So, yeah, Tate didn't get the trot, but he does get the artwork, and that's his handiwork just off to the side.
Now, in the major leagues, he might not have had enough time to do that before he came up and got in the box.
You know, you come here and you say, I want to leave my mark on the Little League World Series.
He did that.
Big Bobby Orr fan. Jackson Bilbo. Ooh, just misses from Krzysztof Szylar. Thought he had strike 3.
Just about the whole Czech Republic team thought he had strike 3. They were all walking toward their dugout.
Krzysztof threw 2 scoreless innings against Panama on Wednesday. Looking for the same here out of the gates against Canada.
And Krzysztof's done a nice job of mixing it up. You're watching him throw a lot of strikes, but obviously doing a good job of mixing and matching in and out. Not trying to give the hitters the same look twice.
Did he go? Yes. Szylar's got 4 Ks, and he breezes through a 1-2-3 second.
And he breezes through because he's got this. He's out there painting on the corners. You got the kids a little bit off balance. Yeah, that's me.
Okay, we're done being hard on ourselves now, okay? We're in the middle of a ball game. You strike out, so what? You move on, you go play defense, okay? I saw a couple of you guys out there pouting a little bit because you struck out and you're throwing the ball all over the place. You guys are still on TV. You still got to be locked in all the time, okay? You're representing your country. We don't need any more bats slamming the ground anymore. You jog off or you have a nice walk with your chest up, okay? Let's go. Lock in.
I'm ready to run through a wall, Mike. I mean, just the way he got his team locked in right there. And that's the biggest thing, is to understand every single play matters. If you get out, you strike out, whatever, move on to the next thing, because you got to play defense for your team.
They've got Canada across the chest indeed, and the Canadian colors for Regina, Saskatchewan at the Little League World Series. Canada here as a country for the 65th time. They've never won it all. It's this Little League's second trip to Williamsport. The other was back in 2002, and these are the only 2 trips for that entire province. We're in the bottom of the second. No score, and elimination game. Jackson Weir against Dominik Reznicek. 2-2. Dominic. We clocked Jackson Weir at 5 seconds between pitches in the first. That is an absolute bullet from Dominik Reznicek, all the way to the wall in right center, and the long striding 5'9" first baseman as the Czech Republic second hit.
And Dominic goes down to get this baseball. He's one of the taller kids out here, but does a good job of making sure that barrel gets down as this Jackson Weir pitch is delivered. See him go down and get that, stay behind that baseball, and drive it to the opposite field. That's textbook right there. That's how it's done.
Now David Sabatka pitched a little bit Wednesday against Panama. Turned to double play as well. 4'10", 105 pounds for Sabatka. He's the little big man, as the coaching staff says. Came through with a walk-off for the Czech Republic to punch a ticket here. Squares, pulls back. That's a strike from Weir.
You can tell that there's a different confidence coming from Czech Republic right now at the plate. First game they looked a little timid, looked a little unsure, but now taking some better swings, having some better discipline.
We got a foul ball up here in the booth, and the crowd respects the effort made, and a catch off the ricochet. That was coming right at one of the best camera operators you will find, Wade. Off the ricochet, the play was made.
Now, why were you running out of the way, though?
That's not true, and we have a camera that will disprove that.
You kind of jolted to the right.
Not true. Again. Great effort, and laying out Nash Tomchuk almost hauled something in that would have been even more impressive.
I mean, just the way that these kids are just giving their bodies all out. Check this out again. Recognizes where the ball is, tries to get there in time, lays it out. Great effort there by Tomchuk.
How do you not love Nash Tomchuk?
Play.
2-2. Sabatka pops another one foul, and you're right, they look more confident than they did the other day. Settling in here.
Absolutely.
Their second game.
And that's all it is. these young players, don't question yourself. If you're going to go after it, go after it. And you'll find from Little League all the way to the major leagues, the more confident you are about making a swing decision, the better off you'll be. If you're in between, you're not going to have much of a chance.
Center fields, and a diving catch by Trayton Mansuk. How do you do?
Mansuk read this ball immediately off the bat, did a great job of making that first step come in. You see him lay out and secure the catch. I love how quick he was to get to the baseball. He's got the shades on.
No kidding. How about Dominic Reznicek as well, taking off from second to third?
Yeah, smart base running there, knowing that it's going to have a tough time getting up and making that strong throw over to third. Gets himself over to third, less than 2 outs.
Marian Kostial is down 0-2. Infield in for Canada, and we're now dealing with a man at third.
With the infield in, Canada will be looking to cut down the run at home. Be interesting to see if Czech Republic going off contact.
Swing and a miss. Jackson Weir's got his third strikeout and a massive second out here in the second.
It's just about the location, getting that fastball up in the zone. Mentioned he kind of comes from over the top, so catching up to that one is going to be tough.
Now Václav Menchik went around.
And it's tough to lay off of it because it looks so good out of the hand, but it almost from a hitter's standpoint and a point of view, it looks like it continues rising. That's why it's so tough to get to at the last second.
And on top of that, Jackson Weir, again, to reiterate what we've talked about, he's bearing down on you and ready to throw right away. It's 1-1. Grabs the edge, 1-2. One, two. Fouled away. Good job by Menchik, spoiling it. Václav's special talent is cooking pancakes. He says he makes them with strawberries. Punches out here against Weir. Trayton Mansuk keeps this thing scoreless.
Mansuk seeing it off the bat, coming in quick with the diving catch. He knows he's on ESPN. He's showing out there.
Welcome back to ESPN's coverage of the Little League World Series presented by T-Mobile. Gorgeous day, and hey, the excitement of the World Series can be downloaded in the new Little League World Series app. Fans can view schedules, watch highlights, and plan their experience using the official LLWS app. Download today for Apple and Android devices. Yeah, tucked in there, Pennsylvania, representing the Mid-Atlantic. They've got to win. They're still alive in their home state. Played in front of a massive crowd. We got a kick out of hearing those guys post-game with Julie. Talking about the crowd, talking about Grandpa.
They know they're the stars out here.
Yes. Eduardo and I were talking about this during our first game today, that fans were claiming their spots on that lower hill there as early as 9:30 a.m.
Wow.
That's what the local authorities were telling us this morning.
Don't blame them. We got a shot of the shadows just recently, and you asked me about that earlier. This is when they start to come into effect here. It's about halfway from home to the mound where the shadow starts. So and that can almost be, as a hitter, it's like you're seeing the ball great, then all of a sudden it's like you're in a room and the lights just got shut off, and you got to still find the baseball.
Is it harder with fastballs or off speed?
It's harder with the off speed because fastballs, you kind of have a direction of where the ball is going to end because it's normally straight. The curveball's the one, the slider, that's the tougher pitch because it's going to have more of that vertical break, that horizontal break, and it's going to be tough for your eyes, not necessarily to pick it up, but where to figure out where it's going to finish.
Well, Dylan Leach is trying to solve that. 9th spot for Canada, leading off in the 3rd against Christophe Challard. This has been a good one so far. Just outside.
That's where you want to try to expand the zone a little bit. That's a good spot right there. I like that pitch.
Challard's 1-2. Strike 3 called on the inside part of the plate for strikeout number 5 and the first out in the 3rd.
And we talked about him mixing locations. That's the big thing for Christophe. You see him go outside and miss just a tad bit, and then he goes back inside. So to me, it's the wherewithal of understanding how do I change locations against a team looking to get timing off of me.
And from those 2 angles, you can see exactly what you were just talking about with the shadows and how the ball is changing what it looks like based on those shadows, pretty much, as you've said, at the halfway point.
Right.
Batter's Creason Malbooth. He says if he won the lottery, he'd go watch a baseball game at every park, and he would start at Fenway. Coaching staff says he's got ice in his veins and can handle the big moment. Foul back, 1-2.
I know a guy that calls some games at Fenway every now and then.
It's a good spot. I'm biased, but I would probably start my ballpark tour there as well.
I mean, the atmosphere, you just think about, obviously, the old school ballpark. I think about Wrigley as well. Some of those staples would be some of the first ones as a kid that I would want to go to.
Nasty off speed from Christophe Challard right through those shadows, and he is piling up punches.
And really, it's no 2 pitches right after each other are going to be the same. See that slow curve? Keeping hitters off balance and throwing it for a strike, trusting his stuff until Czech Republic shows that they can hit it.
In front of a massive crowd.
I'm sorry, Canada.
Yeah, Canada and the Czech Republic in a good one. Fighting to stay alive. Here's Pierce Sorrell. Pierce, a fan of Bo Bichette, and his favorite musician is Metro Boomin.
Hey.
Did I ever tell you my Metro Boomin story?
No. Break it down to me.
So I sat next to Metro Boomin during an entire Atlanta Hawks game, not knowing I was sitting next to Metro Boomin. Popped up towards second, and Sabatka tried to get it over there in time, and Pierce Sorrell is on. Czech Republic backs up the throw on a little pop on the infield that Sabatka tried to size up.
Yeah, the only issue here with Sabatka, and obviously it's a small margin of error because it's not a big pop-up, but he steps back early, and as he tried to size it up, ended up realizing he had to run in and then tried to make the throw a little quicker than he actually had the ball. So make sure you're securing the ball first and then making the throw.
He's made some great defensive plays, like we said recently. Now Nixon Jelsing. Are you a Metro Boomin guy?
Absolutely. I mean, hip hop all the way. It's one of those guys that is producing some amazing hits right now. I'm surprised you even, actually, I'm not surprised you didn't know who you were sitting next to.
That hurts, but yeah, not my finest moment. And then after the game, I kind of got a sense he was someone important because people kept coming up to him and taking pictures of him. I'm like, all right, this guy's got to be famous. So I asked him, I'm sorry, who are you? And he just said, oh, I'm some music producer. Little did we know it's Metro Boomin. Wow. Swing and a miss. Challard with a strikeout and jogs off the mound because he's feeling good. Christophe Challard, the Czech Republic, locking horns with Canada.
My favorite emoji would be the fist bump, My favorite food is pretty much anything spicy. Spicy shrimp, a spicy steak dish.
Favorite TV show? I like Friends. I feel like it never gets old.
I would love to meet, I've already met my favorite person. He's on my shirt, so probably the Philly Fanatics because he's my favorite.
They're already in good spirits for tomorrow, Sunday Night Baseball here in Williamsport with the 6th annual MLB Little League Classic at Bowman Field, about 5 miles from here. Phillies and Nats, 7 Eastern, right here on ESPN and ESPN Deportes, and a special Kids Cast edition on ESPN2, 6 Eastern, Baseball Tonight, Sunday Night Countdown. And Team Ohio acting like big leaguer signing.
You know, the crazy thing is, probably 1 or 2 of these players could end up being a big leaguer. We could be watching big leaguers right now.
It is really neat to think because there have been so many great players who have come out of the Little League World Series. Bottom 3, no score. Czech Republic bats with Andrej Šimanek against Jackson Weir.
You know what's cool about the Little League Classic too is that the big leaguers, they go all out. Like, they'll go and get their cleats done and have some Little League designs on them. Last year, I remember Kike Hernandez had a bat that almost looked like a metal bat. So it's pretty cool what these guys do once it comes to this Little League game, only for 1 day.
And we are seeing some high-end talent here. I mean, we've seen guys throwing in the 70s. Again, we saw 81 miles an hour. We're seeing really impressive swings. Like Texas, they're 2-0. They've got DJ Jablonski. He's a left-handed catcher. He's the starting pitcher, and he's got one of the prettiest lefty swings you could imagine. Weir's got his 5th strikeout. Well, we mentioned, hey, 81 miles an hour. Fan Chun-Jun of Chinese Taipei was that guy with a filthy breaking ball as well.
I mean, you could hear it hitting the glove. Like, when it sounds that loud and it's off speed, you know that my man is throwing some gas.
Here's a bunt bid dropped down by Stepan Švec. And Jackson Weir smartly puts it in his pocket. Bunt single for Švec out of the 10 spot. I mean, 81, we've told you, is equivalent based on reaction times to 105 in Major League Baseball. And look, I mean, it's in the vicinity of what the lower end of fastballs are in Major League Baseball for a kid who's 12 years young.
Wow.
Man aboard for the Czech Republic.
Guys, I was watching that Fan Chun-Jun masterpiece from field level, and actually the manager for Czech Republic, Arnoš Nesňov, he was down there with me, and I look at him and I say, man, this kid's good. He said, yeah, I would take him on my team for sure. I was like, well, duh. He said, no, I mean my under-18 Czech Republic national team. He would be one of my best pitchers on my under-18s. That's how good he was.
Wow. We told you what Canada said after facing it. That's the fastest 12-year-old pitching we've ever seen. Dominic Cleaner's out number 2, and the fast-working Jackson Weir starts out with strike 1 to Philip Stanka.
I mean, it's hard not to get excited about, you know, some of these kids that stand out, but when you see a kid doing what Fan was doing, equivalent to when you kept saying equivalent to 104, 105, that just wasn't even registering in my mind the right way. But you could see the results out there, and you could hear it from where we are in the booth with the headphones on, the headset.
It was unreal. Chinese Taipei putting on a show. That is strike 3 called. Jackson Weir strikes out 3 in the 3rd around the bunt single. Deke Jr., Cannon's dad, is dancing. They're feeling good.
Weir's starting to settle in. You see the look on his face. You see the delivery. You see the heat. Frozen.
Welcome back to ESPN's coverage of the Little League World Series presented by T-Mobile. Headed to the top of the 4th between Canada and the Czech Republic. Mike Monaco, Xavier Scruggs up in the booth. Sebastian Salazar down here with the parents. Jackson Weir, the starting pitcher for Team Canada. I got his mom, Jody, with us. Although she is also apparently the team's photographer. People say I get a lot of steps, and you've been running all over the place.
I have tried to get some good pictures in for the team.
What's it like watching your son here at the Little League World Series?
Oh, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I can't even explain the emotions we've had.
What has Jackson said to you about his experience here?
He's just in awe. He's in complete, his element this is totally him, and he is just so excited and blessed to be here.
Tell me a little bit about him, because I've had a chance to interact with him a couple times. Super impressed with how he carries himself at such a young age.
Yeah, he's a pretty humble guy. He's very respectful. He trains very hard all season long, and this is his dream.
Tell me a little about this group of parents, too, because y'all seem like a fun bunch.
We are. We're very supportive of our kids, and we're also blessed that we're here with them.
And just for those who don't know, explain to me this NOD versus the world, north of Dudney versus the world. What's that?
Our city is kind of split in between one main drag, north of Dudney. It's just a citywide, long-standing tradition, whether you're a North Ender or a South Ender, and we're proud North Enders.
All right, I'm rooting for the North End today, guys. Thanks a lot. Back up to you.
That's awesome. Yeah, the North Enders, NOD versus the world, and that's entirely accurate today against the Czech Republic. Jackson Weir's been that good. Krzysztof Schalar has matched him, with Krzysztof working in the top of the fourth. Canada's leadoff man Nash Tomchuk down 0-2, and a strikeout for Schalar. Jackson Weir's got 7. Krzysztof Schalar now has 8. And there's one away in the fourth.
Yeah, they're really, both pitchers are doing a great job of being able to mix and match their stuff. I'm in awe of the way Krzysztof is able to come intact on the inner half of a lot of these right-handed hitters. Does a good job of kind of running that fastball in and then using the off-speed away. Sticking to his plan.
And doing it well. We've had 6 hits in this game, and Jackson Weir's got one of them. Takes ball 1 from Schalar. Jackson's grandfather, by the way, Bud Weir, he founded the Regina Little League that these guys are a part of. They're part of North Regina Little League now. So Grandpa Bud deserves credit for setting into motion where Jackson has emerged from with this group and his buddies 2 generations later. Jackson's got a routine he's figured out this year. He says a nice healthy meal before the game, and then he also takes his pregame nap leading up to first pitch.
That's my kind of guy right there. Pregame nap. I could care less about the pregame healthy meal, because I'll get a burger, hot dog, whatever it takes, but that pregame nap, that is clutch right there.
2-1. Pulled, foul. Jackson said he started doing it this year once things got more competitive and busier. And yeah, spotlight's on. It's been a long season for these guys at this point. He's got his routine down and ironed out. Schalar's 2-2. Full count.
Just as long as he's not sleeping in the dugout or the clubhouse, right? But the rest and recovery is huge. All strength and conditioning coaches will tell you that.
Lace to right field, base hit Weir. 1-out single, his second hit of the ball game, in addition to what he's doing on the bump.
I mean, honestly, a really good at bat. That's what impressed me the most, is his ability to stay in this thing. Caught something up in the zone, gets the barrel on top, short through it, and Mom is, look at how happy Mom is.
Jody puts aside photography and interview duties for a moment to watch Jackson smoke that one. Now Braden McQueen, who ripped one his first time, and this one goes past Nesnial to the backstop. Jackson moves up 60 feet, and he's in scoring position for Canada. Braden McQueen doubled to left his first time back in the first inning. They call him Captain Clutch. They say he's the silent assassin. Doesn't speak a whole lot. Coaches say he lets his play on the field do the talking. And they're going to intentionally walk McQueen, having already seen what he's capable of.
Yeah, they wanted no part of that. Obviously, you still have a double play. You have the double play situation here. Looking to get a ground ball. You'll take your chances with Junior coming up to bat. See if you might be able to roll a double play.
Cannon's dad, we saw dancing earlier. We heard from him in Canada's first game Thursday, former quarterback. His son, the shortstop and cleanup man. First pitch swinging, going up there aggressively.
That was a healthy cut right there. Cannon wasn't looking for the single. He's looking to put 3 on the board real quick.
In an unsurprising development, his nickname is Cannonball. 0-1, nearly hit him. Christoph Schalar tasked with some trouble in the 4th inning for the Czech Republic. His 1-1. Junior on a line to short. What a catch by Androsik. Oh, man.
And he knows it too. Looking up at the fans. Androsik ranging to his left with the slick grab. Possibly saving a run from scoring as this ball would have got right up through the middle. And we've seen a couple of nice plays here today. They're showing off, Mike.
Trayton Manzuk knows something about great game-saving, scoreless tie protecting catches. And he bats here, so Androsik does it there after this from Manzuk.
Yeah, Manzuk came up, saw this ball immediately off the bat. Made a great dive and catch himself.
Now he's got 2 on. That's a strike from Schalar, and it's 0-2 on Manzuk. Call this guy the road runner because of how fast he is. He's a huge fan of Ellie De La Cruz. 0-2 to him. Outside, didn't tempt him enough. The defense on this stage, when it is win or go home from the Little League World Series, is incredible. 1-2. Inside. 2-2.
2-2.
That's what Christoph will do. He'll back you off the plate and then throw something soft away. Look out for it.
Let's see. 2-2. On the ground, up the middle, past Androsik. Into center. Jackson Weir scores, and Canada leads.
Yeah, Trenton here does a nice job battling with 2 strikes. Head down on the baseball, just put barrel on it. Good things will happen. Affords his team an opportunity to put that first run on the board. Not only that, he advanced the runner over to third and gets himself in scoring position on the throw from center field.
He has saved the run and now driven in a run.
Musím byť trošku presnejší a odvážnejší. Dobre? Hádžeš dobre, hádžeš super. Tak to tam drž. Ešte to tam chceme tak 3-4 inningy. No? To by šlo, ne? Tak poďme na to.
The words there from assistant coach Marian Krasny, who was actually here in 2014 as the manager of a Czech Republic team. He said, that's when my big dream to return to Williamsport was born, having experienced it for the first time. Coming here, he said, now my dream has come true. Now Bryden Nurnberg. Ball 1 skitters away. Braden McQueen scores. 2-0.
And because of that throw from center field and the runners of Canada being able to advance, they get themselves an opportunity to score on that pass ball. just heads-up base running has helped this team put another run on the board.
Shalar trying to keep it 2-0. Cut and a miss. One ball and one strike on Bryden Nurnberg, the right fielder for Canada. Fouled away. Shalar's 1-2. Line drive, center field, base hit. Nurnberg drives in, Manzuk, and it's 3-zip Canada.
That ball was scalded off the bat of Nurnberg. That ball was hit extremely hard, right back where it came from. Again, Canada doing a nice job with 2 strikes. It's almost like they're simplifying that approach, not trying to get too big on these pitches. Very nice swing. This inning has been huge as they put up the 3 spot.
Now Tate Sexsmith. First pitch swinging, vaults this one to center. And on the scene, Marian Kostial ends the inning. Canada with a 3 spot. NOD versus the world. Here has 2 hits and 7 strikeouts of the 9 outs he's generated. And Christophe Shalar's pitched really well, but Canada with a 3 spot there. To the bottom of the 4th, Jackson Weir back to work. And a reminder that the winner of this one plays tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern. Right here on ESPN against Mexico. That would be another elimination game. This is Ilia Kolomoets. We told you about in the open, the 11-year-old Ukrainian refugee who wondered if he would ever play baseball again when he spent months in a refugee camp after fleeing what's going on in the Ukraine and going to the Czech Republic. And a strikeout for Weir.
Yeah, and after I got a picture with Ilia, his mom actually messaged me on Instagram mentioning how pleased he was to meet me, but also she said when we were running away from the war, I couldn't even imagine that he would have a chance to make it to the Little League World Series. Baseball helped him a lot to adapt in a new country. So just, you can imagine the support coming from home, his ability to be here on this stage. It reminds you that baseball is so much bigger than just the game on the field.
Gives me chills hearing that. We showed him dancing with his teammates pregame. They were all huddled around him. He hasn't known these guys for that long. He's in a different country, months in a refugee camp before he was even a teenager. And now he's here and he's a king and the world is watching him.
And you can only imagine the way to adapt is, you know, to be able to make friends and to be able to have something to relate with the boys. And you see the kids around him, those types of players make this game. And as I think about after my days playing, the things you remember, even 11, 12-year-old time, is just those relationships with those guys and the fun that you had on and off the field.
Special stuff. And Ilia has been a part of this ride with his teammates from the Czech Republic. They trail by 3 against Jackson Weir. Filip Zahorik puts this one in the air to left center and deep. Manzuk on the run, makes another one. Go and get it, Trayton.
Manzuk doing it again. Using.
Roll in and get ready. They're underway about 45 minutes from now. How about Trayton Manzuk putting on a show in the outfield and with the bat as well for this team from Regina, Saskatchewan. The Little League Baseball World Series presented by T-Mobile continues. by Matt Christopher. Remember Matt Christopher? Just pumping out books all over the place when you're growing up, sports books. He was must read. A Pennsylvania native, in fact. He was born here in Pennsylvania.
Look at you doing your homework.
I think I might have been Matt Christopher's biggest fan. 2-1 to Bilbo. On the ground left side. And Václav Menšík for the first down. Let's go down to 7.
Guys, Denis Ondrošek at short may have made the play of the tournament earlier. So, guys, brother Daniel here with me. What'd you think of that catch?
It was amazing. I mean, you see the kid work, and this is just a reward, you know, for playing the game right way and just enjoying himself.
What's his story with baseball? When did he begin?
I think he started when he was like 3, you know, ever since he could just stand up and swing the bat. That's why we, you know, just put him to play baseball, because I play baseball, and he's been playing since he was a kid.
And are a lot of people back home following this? Is there a lot of excitement about a Czech Republic team being here at the Little League World Series?
I think so, especially for the, you know, Brno teams, Draci, Hroši, and Jihlava ones. That's not in Brno, it's close to Brno, but, you know, we like baseball, we enjoy it, and this is just an awesome experience.
Yeah, what's it been like watching your brother there representing your country here on this stage? I mean, as a brother, that's got to be amazing.
Yeah, it's really just a cool thing, such a good moment, because, you know, I've been playing baseball for like 13 years, and it's just great to share these moments with him, because I know what it's like. So it's just great.
Sharing some great moments too. What a catch, Daniel.
It was great. It was great. Yeah.
Thank you so much. All right, guys, we're going to send it back up to you.
Daniel's quite the player himself. He plays in the Czech Extra League, best league in the Czech Republic. Dennis told us it is an amateur league, but that's who he looks up to the most. He says Big Bro Daniel's his favorite athlete. And Dennis says Daniel's really good. But Dennis jokes that he's accomplished more at his age of 12 years old than Daniel did by age 12.
And that's got to be a good feeling as a big brother, knowing that, and that's the first thing he said, watching him put the work in, and then you ultimately get the reward of being on this stage and making those types of plays. I mean, there's almost no greater feeling as a brother.
So many great family ties here at the Little League World Series. Bilbo and Dylan Leach both grounded out. Now a 2-2 to Kresin Malbuv. And Krzysztof Schalar is doing his thing for the Czech Republic. A 10-pitch inning.
Favorite athlete, Shaun White. I love snowboarding, and he was, you know, the guy. Baseball player I looked up to, Derek Jeter. I mean, he was the, you know, captain of the Yankees and captain of, you know, Major League Baseball. I can pretty much say that. Favorite food, I love chicken parm. It's so good. Favorite emoji, I use the I love you sign language one a lot. Who I would love to meet. I mean, I've already met my favorite person who's on my shirt, so probably the Philly Fanatics because he's my favorite.
Phillies Nats, MLB Little League Classic tomorrow, 7 Eastern. Right here on ESPN. Kids Cast on ESPN2. Baseball tonight, Sunday Night Countdown starts at 6. Right here on ESPN as well. It's been a well-played game into the bottom of the 5th inning. Loser goes home, winner plays tomorrow. Denis Ondrošek pops one at Nixon Jelsing. There's one away in the last of the 5th with Canada up by 3.
In that Little League Classic tomorrow, we're going to get to see Zach Wheeler on the bump. And, you know, thinking about these guys when they come up here and get to meet the kids, that's my favorite part of the day, when these guys are up here in the stands with the kids, taking pictures with them. Some of the major league guys will be getting autographs from some of the younger players. All that interaction tomorrow is going to be so much fun to watch all day.
And it starts early. We'll get the first game of the day going at 9 a.m. Eastern time, as we told you. Jackson Weir, by the way, is dealing for Canada. He hasn't allowed a run into this fifth. He's facing the cleanup man for the Czech Republic, Aaron Nesnial. Up high 1-2. Flick foul. Still 1-2 on Nesnial.
Yeah, and Weir's done a nice job of staying efficient. We talked about it early. If he was able to keep his mechanics going, even though he's got a quick delivery, he's done that today. A lot of strikes and a lot of punchies today.
Off speed to get a roller at Cannon Jr. Corking the Cannon. 2 down. Let's check in with Sebastian.
Guys, Trayton Manzik is having himself a day, a potential game-winning RBI, a couple big catches out in center field. His mom, Krista, here was a little bit nervous about doing the interview, but I said, your son's having such a great game, we got to talk to mom. So what are you more nervous, when he's at the plate or when he's out in the field?
Both. Doesn't matter when he's playing, I'm constantly nervous. I usually am pacing in the outfield, but
Tell us a little about Trayton, because he's really impressed us on the field. What's he like off the field?
Full of energy. He doesn't stop. He's constant, like running around. He has too much energy always.
And what does it mean for you to see your son representing Canada here at the Little League World Series?
Very overwhelming. Like, it's an amazing feeling. I just love him, and I'm very proud of him.
Wonderful stuff. Canada then up 3-0, guys. Back up to you.
All right, Trayton Manzik has had a day. 2 catches, boundless energy, says mom. Little League stats are provided by Game Changer, the official scorekeeping and stats technology partner of Little League and the Little League World Series. Game Changer now offers free live streaming for regular season local youth games, plus automatic video highlight clips when you stream and score your games. Man, it's just been a great day here in Williamsport. Perfect weather, large crowds, and good baseball. Czech Republic goes into the 6th and summons its shortstop, Denis Androshek, to replace Krzysztof Schalar, who was really good X. He punched out 9 and has given this team a chance.
Yeah, Androshek, you know he's got a good arm coming in from the shortstop position. Very athletic. He'll look to keep this Canada team to no runs this inning so they can try to put something together in the bottom of the 6th.
Pierce Sorrell and an infield single his first time. Doesn't square here, and it's ball and a strike on Pierce. The Czech Republic has only won 1 game ever here at the Little League World Series. They played a couple of tight and close games. It's 4-0 against Panama on Wednesday in the opener here, and now it's only been 1 inning where Canada has put all 3 of its runs across back in the 4th.
And give a lot of credit to Krzysztof, who's now moved over to the shortstop position, who really did a nice job of being able to mix and match his stuff and keep this game close. He still has Czech Republic with an opportunity in this game.
Androshek's 1-2, sails high. This guy was so fun to watch, Krzysztof Schalar. We loved watching the Italian team last year. These guys from the Czech Republic, from Brno, been a blast as well.
So much personality, and they obviously understand how cool it is, just the opportunity to be here and to stay in close game with a Canada team that's really looked pretty good today. That's big.
I mean, we've talked a lot about Cuba being here for the first time as a country. It's only the 3rd time a team from the Czech Republic is in Williamsport. Also in 2013 and 14. The country had only played 6 games here all time before action on Wednesday. Strike 3 called, and Androshek has the first down in the 6th.
Got a little words of wisdom from Krzysztof over there at short, and then he delivered this fastball up in the zone right at the top for that first strikeout. money.
And now Nixon Jelsing, last man in the Canada lineup. So again, the Czech Republic was here in 2013 and 14. There's players from those teams who are still playing, some in college, some have played in U23 championships in Europe. As the game grows in different spots around the world, and coaching staff has said this, that the way the Czech Republic performed in the World Baseball Classic, that catalyzed some growth back home at the younger levels. That was certainly a great story in the WBC.
Yeah, we're seeing it at all levels now with the WBC expanding to these different markets internationally. Teams are looking to grow the game of baseball. Countries are looking to grow the game of baseball. And the talent level is continuing to rise and develop year after year after year.
European teams here have only won 17 games ever at the Little League World Series. But they're coming on. Ooh, just misses, full count.
Guys, I got to talk to some of the kids from this Czech Republic team about the WBC before this tournament began, and they talked about knowing the guys on the team, like personally. Aaron Nesnial, the young man who's the coach's son, he said he knew like half the WBC team personally. So imagine when it's that close to you, what an inspiration it must be.
Yeah, you watched them captivate the world and the sport's attention back in March, and it was a joy to watch them. And now, what, 5 months later, and sometimes 10, 20 years younger, these guys are here representing their country.
Well, in the first game they played, I noticed Aaron Nesnial was using a wood bat. And I got information from Old Hickory, the bat company that he was using, is they supply Czech Republic WBC team with their bats.
A roller to third from Nash Tomchuk, who stays down at 2. They do get the force on Nixon Jelsing, who had singled. Started nicely by Václav Menchik.
I was curious, so I had asked my connect over there at Old Hickory, and as we see this nice turn, almost got that double play. I said, wait a minute, how would this 12-year-old get this wood bat here? And he said, we supply for WBC Czech Republic. And now you see the game growing so much. They understand that all those brands here in the United States, they want to be able to get as much of those as far as equipment over there, and they want to use it.
I'll tell you what, they're going to come home from here with some great gear as well. Jackson Weir stings one into center. He's got a 3-hit day. Before that, he'd already been one of just 2 players in this tournament with 2 hits and 10+ strikeouts in the same ball game, and now he's got his 3rd single.
And it's such a smooth swing, smooth approach. We talk about those lefties that have that just silky smooth swing. That's what that he has in his back pocket. Doing a nice job with the little celebration over there after the single as well.
Now Braden McQueen, who has doubled and been intentionally walked. So you can't intentionally walk him again. You're only allowed to do it once per game. We've only had the intentional walk for the last 3 years here at the Little League World Series. Androshek's 0-1, down and away.
Braden's looking to extend this lead. Obviously, any more runs you can get will help out, provide some cushion there in the bottom of this 6th. Can never feel like you have enough runs, especially against these talented teams here at the Little League World Series.
And the Czech Republic will have sort of the middle of the lengthened lineup starting in the 6th spot. 2-2. Canada has been impressive today. They've pitched well, they've defended well, they've had some loud contact too offensively. Dennis Androshek trying to keep it right at 3 runs, 2-2. Braden McQueen battling against Androshek. Tomchuk and Weir aboard. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Androshek with a K. And the Czech Republic is trying to extend its summer next. The Little League Baseball World Series on ESPN is presented by T-Mobile, America's largest and fastest 5G network. Little League would like to extend a special thank you to its official sponsors like Eggland's Best and Dick's Sporting Goods. These companies provide year-round support to the Little League program, helping to create opportunities and experiences for families and communities. And Little League would also like to thank its dedicated volunteers who make the program a special experience for millions of children around the world. Our thanks as well. So many good people behind the scenes on the Little League side, the volunteer side, the people of South Williamsport and the surrounding area who make it all go. Bottom 6. And the Czech Republic trails 3-0 in this elimination game against Jackson Weir and Canada. David Sabatka leads off. Pitch counts at 71. For Jackson Weir. And Sabatka pops this one up. And Tomchuk and McQueen cannot combine to make the catch. And so Sabatka is on.
Yeah, this is one of those balls, as soon as it was popped up, weren't sure if McQueen was going to come in and get it or Jackson Weir. As the catcher, Tomchuk was going toward it. Just that communication is so important. They might have been calling it at the same time.
And so a foul ball, and Sabatka then strikes out.
Yeah, I had thought that ball landed in fair territory, but looks like Jackson Weir got another opportunity, was able to take advantage and got the strikeout.
His 11th. And now he faces Marian Kostial. And pumps in strike one. How about Jackson Weir just humming along?
Can't talk about how impressive he's been today. Just continuing to attack. And that's been the reasons why he's had so much success today. He's not playing around, not trying to expand the zone too much. He's trying to get them to swing, trying to get weak contact, but his stuff has been so good. He's gotten so much of the swing and miss.
His 1-2. Another strikeout. Dozen Ks. Hey, the Little League Community Heroes Recognition Program helps to honor those dedicated individuals who not only volunteer their time in local Little League programs, but also contribute in other ways to improve their communities. To learn more or to nominate a community hero, visit littleleague.org/communityheroes. Promos seem to go a lot more quickly when Jackson Weir is working at this pace. He's got a dinner reservation. He's thrown 78 pitches, generated now 21 swings and misses, and has Canada 1 strike away from a win. 0-2 to Václav Menchik. And another strikeout for Jackson Weir. Canada wins and survives, and Mom loves it. Jody with tears watching her son strike out 13 in a shutout.
I mean, it brings emotion to you when your son does something like that. Think about how special his performance was today, to go out there, show that his team was capable of getting a W. I think one of the biggest things for me was seeing him throw a lot of strikes today. You mentioned the swing and miss, mostly because he was getting those guys on Czech Republic to swing at his pitches in the zone. Everything was just perfectly placed where he wanted to. Used the top of the zone a lot today. Was able to use the inner half of the plate as well. You can see how pumped he is to continue staying in this tournament and fight another day.
Tears from mom and team photographer and interview specialist watching Jackson Weir deal. Team Czech Republic, this group from Brno, has the ride come to an end, but man, they performed admirably in 2 games here at the Little League World Series. And we're going to swap some trinkets, it looks like, between these 2 teams. All right, so Canada still alive. They'll play tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern, right here on ESPN against Mexico. That's, of course, another elimination game. Meanwhile, in the morning, 9 a.m. Eastern time, get up, get your coffee in, Cuba and Panama. And 1 week from today, the international championship in what appears to be a loaded international field. That's at 12:30 Eastern time on ABC. Jackson Weir on Thursday was the starting pitcher against Chinese Taipei. Gave up 3 runs, only got 4 outs. Today, a little bit different. For the guy who says, I try to live life like it's a 3-1 count. He was awesome. Back after this. Canada, this Little League from Regina, Saskatchewan, wins against the Czech Republic and continues on. Trayton Manzuk with the bat and with the glove. And then how about the left arm of Jackson Weir with 13 strikeouts and a 3-hit shutout. They're both with Sebastian.
Thank you very much, Mike. Trayton and Jackson, 2 of the stars for the Canadian team. I'm going to start with Jackson because he had a perfect angle to see both of Trayton's catches. My man, how about that defense from your boy in center field?
Amazing. One of them, I thought off the bat it was gone, and then he just took a great route and got there on it. So
he gave you some help, but you didn't need a lot. What was working well for you on the mound today?
Well, mostly my fastball. They weren't really making too much damage on it, so I was mostly sticking with that. But when they were, I went to my changeup and curveball.
Favorite part of what you've been able to do so far here in Williamsport, away from the baseball?
Just hanging out with friends, watching games, and just enjoying the experience.
All right, great stuff. Let's hear from the man who not only made some great catches, but also had a huge RBI. And Coach says you made an adjustment. What was that adjustment?
Well, I would go like that, and I would take a step too early, and I would just lean into my swing. And then, but this time I took a step, and then right when the ball crossed the plate, I took a step and then swung instead of going too early.
And it worked. So how did it feel to get that hit in such a big moment for your team?
I was really happy. I was just happy I got a run in. Yeah, and then 2 more runs got in, and that's what really won us the game.
And we know we got the major leaguers coming tomorrow. I'm sure you're excited about that. What you looking forward to?
Well, I just can't wait to see the players. I can't wait to see Bryce Harper and Trey Turner. It's my 2 favorites.
Bryce Harper and Trey Turner, those are the guys.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Jackson? Who you want to see tomorrow?
Harper and JT probably.
Okay.
My 2 favorites.
Those are 2 of your favorites. All right. Well, the big leaguers are impressed by you guys right now. No doubt about that, gentlemen. We send it back up to you.
Yeah, and that's major league caliber hitting adjustments, Sevi. Walk us through this, X, what Trayton's talking about.
Yeah, he's talking about being on time, and instead of flailing his barrel out to get the ball, he was allowed to let the ball travel a little bit, was able to have some power from the backside and still be able to hit that baseball up the middle hard. Instead of him trying to go get it, he let the game come to him and took care of business.
How awesome is that? He's getting his first question on camera, you would presume, ever on ESPN, and he's like, hold on, Sebi, let me work through this here. This is what I'm talking about.
He's
this
ready.
The adjustment.
He's probably be doing breakdowns here pretty soon off some of the other players. We don't know.
It's like when you and Jess are in studio on Baseball Tonight, and you guys are in front of the big green screen in the studio, whatever else you got going on. More Trayton Manzuk. We talked to his family earlier, Sebi did, and apparently he's got all sorts of energy, his mom Trista says. And yeah, he backed it up. They got a couple other runs in addition to what he did. And then Jackson Weir. I mean, you saw the note on the graphic. First guy with a 3-hit game here at the Little League World Series this year. Oh, and also a 3-hit shutout with 13 strikeouts.
Yeah, and it was important because, Czech Republic had a good pitching performance on their side. So whatever you can do to limit the damage, make sure nobody's getting on base. And we saw him really navigate that lineup pretty easily.
Well, this is the first day of elimination games here at the Little League World Series. So we have started to cut down the field from 20 teams in Williamsport. Tokyo, Japan's 2-0 on this international side. And then up at Lamade Stadium on the United States side, Needville, Texas, representing the Southwest. They're 2-0 as well. Hats off to Australia, the Czech Republic, and Gray, Maine for some really good summers as well. Still got a big one tonight up there. Hill looks pretty crowded still at Lamade Stadium. We will preview that one about 10 minutes away from getting started. A preview on the other side. Back after this.